What's up, y'all? That is Seán Buí, Yellow John. It's a great standard Irish session tune, and that's one that came up at a session recently in town, so I thought it'd be fun to break it down and dive in. Now, I played it, of course, on the D flute. Feel free to do that if you want, or you want to play it on a D whistle. We're going to break down the basic melody like so. Low whistle, I suppose, would work too. Grab whatever you feel like, and let's check it out. One of the things I like about this tune so much is that it uses a lot of arpeggios, which is hopefully an exercise you've been working on and your fingers are up to that task. If not, this will be a good one to work in, I would say, to hopefully get that up to speed. So, basic melody, here we go, nice and slow. Also, a nice thing about this tune is that's the whole A part. That whole thing just repeats, no changes really. Obviously, variation and whatnot, but really that's the whole bit. So hopefully you got that whole A part. If not, run through, make sure you get that knocked out before we dive in with the B part. That's the first half of the B part. Most of that is a repeat. It just ends a little bit differently. So we'll play the second half here. Again, hopefully most of it will sound familiar. Hopefully you caught the fact that the B part ends the same way that the A part ends. So really you've only got, well, you have all of the A part to learn, that section. Then you've got like half of a B part to get. Really, that's about all there is to it. Second time through the B part, the ending is a bit different. Jumps up into the second octave a bit more. We'll run that whole thing here nice and slow. So there, the second octave bit is really the only thing that's different there. It rounds off the same way as the A part does. So hopefully you've already got that fairly confidently by this point. The most important thing, really with any jig, but it feels like with this one, with this arpeggio kind of sound, is to get that lift. Because I think with any of these, it's easy to get stuck on the arpeggio part and I'm kind of making it very marchy and kind of square. So making sure you can get the lift doesn't necessarily require ornamentation. It kind of depends a lot on tonguing. So I would use that as sort of the baseline for a lot of this, with the added bonus of the ornaments hopefully complementing that, if that makes sense. So a couple of slides there. It's a nice way to give that lifty kind of effect. To give it a little bit of a boost. And then you could slide into a roll on that top B, because we're sitting on that high part of the scale there, high part of the phrase. The second time with that tune, you could slide into that. I will oftentimes do a short roll on that one to differentiate from the long roll that we did the first time through, the first half of the A part, as such. That one can be a little bit tricky on the top hand, so if you're going to go for that one, make sure you get it nice and quick and punchy, because that's really the effect there. When you come back down, I like to accent that landing, sticking the landing, so to speak. A quick cut there will do a pretty good job. And then you can go back to the long roll, same sort of thing we did before. So that, again, that part just repeats. Feel free to mix and match some of those things. Trial and error a bit and see what fits your sound, your style. But you really don't need to do a whole lot on the top octave there in the B part, other than tongue, just to get that lift, that kind of that groove that we're looking for. Yeah, you could do a couple of slides. And as I go from B to A, to finish that phrase, I'll do that earthquake ornament. I've mentioned that a fair few times, going from B to A, and as I land that on that transition, popping that top finger off. Just kind of a cool punchy way, I think, to stick that phrase. Good opportunities for slides there as well, to turn around back to it. Now the second octave part here, the real high bit, when I jump up to the highest note in the phrase, a term I've used quite a fair few times now over the years, I will want to accent that some way or another. In this case, a slide is a good safe option. It's an easy way to hit that, still gives that groove. And you can do the same thing as you're coming back down to that low E, so the high E, I suppose. Whole thing in context. And then back down in the same way as we would end the phrase in the A part with that short roll. At least that's how I like to do it. Those are some of the things that I like. If you're interested in more of this, we've got a lot more information on Patreon. This is one of those where I go into the excruciating minutia in a deep dive. So feel free to check that out if you're feeling it. Tabs and sheet music and all that other good stuff over there. Yeah, I'll see y'all then. Cheers, guys. Take care.